Recently, the International Agency, a former employee of the International Energy Agency, told a British newspaper that that agency, which a lot of governments around the world rely on for the predictions about oil supply and prices, deliberately overstates the known reserves of oil in the world in order to, the implication was to keep prices low, so it keeps economies humming along. So my question is, at Toyota, that obviously directly affects your business. What do you look at in terms, and what are the assumptions you make about the future supply and price of oil going forward? A lot of people think oil is going to be more expensive in the future.
Well, I think there's no question that oil is going to be more expensive. Our model on future energy is that we will probably see peak oil sometime around the end of the next decade. So whether it's 2017 or 2020, it's going to be sometime in that neighborhood.
I don't know if I've ever heard an auto executive say that so directly before.
Well,
that's a house view at Toyota?
That's a house view at Toyota.
Are you out front or alone on that?
I don't know, but I can tell you that belief is what's driving our solutions of what will drive our future vehicles. So and whether it's 2017 or 2020 or 2025 doesn't really make a difference, because as the world demand exceeds the world supply, the cost of gasoline for cars, internal combustion engines, will be prohibitively expensive. That makes it more feasible for battery and new generations of batteries to be well accepted. It probably also brings into play natural gas, because we also have studied, and we think natural gas will probably peak around 2050. And it's a clean source that's abundant in the United States. And it's relatively easy to convert vehicles to natural gas. The challenge becomes what you do with tanks and how that impacts the overall package space of a vehicle. And then beyond that, I think that we'll see fuel cells, but I think that's going to be a long way down the road. But that's our view on oil. We have about 10, 12 years left.
That's quite remarkable. So that's really, if I hear you, that's directing where you're directing R&D and that sort of thing. So you're pushing harder, faster away from petroleum to other sources of battery and liquid fuels?
Yeah, and part of that is, if you look at the hybrid synergy drive system, that was developed to basically mate electric motors to an engine of some type. Today, that's internal combustion gas. We've had a concept vehicle at some of the auto shows that's CNG. It is the interface that will be used with fuel cells and any other fuels that may come up in the future. So the backbone of our system is going to be hybrid synergy drive, and that's why we invested the dollars to perfect that engine going forward, that system.
Do you have any interest in preference in biofuels that come from plants versus algae, or do you sit back and do you not have a horse in that race of which type of biofuel technology is going to win the day? Because a lot of people here in Silicon Valley are very interested in that. And
we do research in different biofuels. We have done research into algae. I think the other thing that we have to make sure that we all understand is biofuels are great, but as we look to the future, water is probably going to become a more scarce commodity than gasoline. So we have to make sure that whatever the solutions are in the future in terms of biofuel, that it doesn't run us out of water any faster.